Hi guys, this is my ethical scenario dilemma map. And my name is Christopher Sun. I'm at the University of St. Augustine's Austin campus. I'm currently working at the university or doing my clinical rotation or first fieldwork level 2A at the University of Chicago's Medical Center in their inpatient acute rehab center. So my ethical dilemma is prioritizing which patients to see. So we have this male that was admitted to the hospital with multiple comorbidities. He has paraplegia, sepsis, multiple tuberculous ulcers in his legs, in his sacrum, as well as unable to. He knew he was in the hospital, but he didn't know where in the hospital or if he was in Chicago. He also knew himself, but he didn't know who we are as therapists when we told him at the beginning of the session and at the end of the session, as well as he was unable to communicate with us with more than one word answers. And he was also categorized at the end to failure to thrive. And after 5 days in the hospital, we only got to be able to do an evaluation with the time given, and he ended up not. He ended up having passed after those 5 days. Um, and so we were unable to kind of provide him with a beneficial treatment plan with the treatment session, just with the time given, and also that he wouldn't benefit from a treatment if we had seen him. So some of the potential ethical dilemmas that we're talking here are justice and beneficence. So for justice, you can read this quote here. Justice requires the impartial consideration and consistent following of rules to generate unbiased decisions and promote fairness. As occupational therapy personnel, we work to uphold a society in which all individuals have an equitable chance or equitable opportunity to achieve occupational engagement as an essential component of their life. So this is basically saying, for me when I read this, was that this is deciding how to spend time with your patients and who to see and which ones we would see. So everyone gets an eval done within the first 48 hours, but then with treatments it's kind of whose needs are first, and so this is kind of making decisions without seeing one person over the other person just because they're having more success or seeing more improvements. And so my action steps are to create a checklist, needs, and level of priority for each patient that needs to be seen. So by doing this, we can kind of see what our patients need and kind of set we haven't seen this patient in a couple days, so they're our first priority. Maybe this is our second patient, that's the second priority because were seen yesterday, etc. So kind of creating that. And then maybe even with decision making, getting another therapist's advice to assist you with the patient and being able to hand off the patient if you cannot see them. So let's say if you're having a really busy day at the clinic and you have a lot of evaluations to do and you can't get to all of them, so you can definitely hand them off to someone else. You can get advice to see maybe you can co-treat with that person with another with a physical therapist and not just an occupational therapist. So kind of seeing what you can do there. So with the professional liabilities for the checklist and the level of priority, it could be if we don't see patients for an evaluation, there could be negligence and unprofessional behavior. So every patient should be seen regardless of their current medical status. So by us not going to see them for therapy, that's liability right there. What if we could have done something to further prevent something from happening in the future? So just understanding is it unprofessional behavior that we don't see them? Are we neglecting their needs because they could have thrived? And we just want to be aware of that when taking this step. And then the step 2 for advice and everything. So professionally, you get to work on your collaboration. You get their input. You could see it could help you with your decision making. It can also help you look at all aspects of the case, not just at one singular point. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go to beneficence. So this is requiring taking actions by helping others in other words, by promoting good, by preventing harm, and removing harm. This is deciding if we see this patient, if we're preventing harm and promoting good when someone who is failure to thrive. So being able to understand this, if this patient's condition is worsening due to other factors outside of your field of practice, asking doctor or nurse, have their conditions changed, have their conditions improved, what's going on, like are they doing better today, or are they doing worse today, and kind of getting a read for that. And so, kind of the professional liability issues, we have to understand where our scope of practice is and how we can help our patients' needs and needs to be understood, and we can go and see if they would benefit in the long run. If we go see them for treatment, are they going to benefit from us? And this also allows us again to be professional and be able to collaborate with other professionals, and have like a circle meeting with all of our patients. And I've seen some of that in the offices where they've talked to there's social workers, there's nurses, there's doctors, there's case managers, there's just everyone on the team, attendings, doctors, everyone on the kind of the ladder of the care team that you see. So just making sure that that does happen for every single patient, and they're not, they're making sure that we're promoting good, preventing harm, and removing harm. And then another action step I have is seeing if the patient, regardless if they're failure to thrive, and to prevent additional harm. So again, like we want to see them, even if they aren't thriving or getting any better. But maybe a problem with this is if we see this patient, is it taking time away from other clients that could benefit from our treatment sessions? So making a professional decision about how to prioritize the patients that would benefit from your treatments and the ones that won't show improvement. So for example, this gentleman unfortunately did die. We did give a treatment. We did give an evaluation, but we didn't have any time for treatment. He wasn't really doing that well to begin with, and the nurses were like, he just wants to rest and relax. And so we had to respect those wishes for him. So unfortunately, we couldn't help him with that. And kind of resolving all of those ethical dilemmas, I think by following the action steps of creating a level of priority to be seen, collaborating with the interprofessional team, the opportunity of success for your clients, and to understand how your scope of practice can help a client is ultimately how you will decide who to see first and who can wait till the next day. So by doing all of these things, it can help clearly identify how we're going to make some ethical decisions. This is my concept map. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you later. Bye.